timeline. Hi, and welcome to another edition of Fire and Ice, Conscious Conversations with Daren and Alexandria. He's fire. I'm ice. So, we just thought that'd be a fun element, given that he's, a redhead and everything, and so he's going to bring the fire. So today we're going to be talking about how our thoughts are impacting us, and just how easy, subtle ways we can work with that. The universe is always listening. And so we just want to welcome you for today and thank you all for your comments and for subscribing. It's so wonderful. And we so appreciate that. And I just love the comments, and maybe today we'll share a little bit at the end of if we have time at the end, but or you can read them for yourself, I guess, but it's just so heartening. So thank you so much. And let's just begin just taking a couple of deep breaths and just like get grounded. So we're all sort of on the same level. We're all like going to drop into our hearts. And this is going to actually put you in a better place for receiving all of this. So by breathing in, calming yourself down, 3 breaths. I need this too to slow down. And dropping down into your heart center. And just be open to receive. And if anything doesn't fit, just disregard it, let it go, and just take what works for you today.
I also want to mention one thing. Thank you, by the way. That felt amazing, and I feel so much more grounded now and
Oh, good. Yeah, it makes a difference. Plugging in. 3 breaths, that's all it takes.
I know, 100%. I mean, I've been promoting that like crazy. I mean, I wanted to just mention, I figured why not in the beginning of this video, why don't we just, mention it? But in actuality, this video is probably going to be coming out after. But we'll just mention it anyways, about the sessions we're doing. And
exciting.
yeah, and the first one, which again will probably come out before this video, we did on soul contracts. And so we essentially did a hypnosis session, and Alexandria went to these higher dimensional beings showed up and pretty much kind of ran the whole session. And so we're going to be kind of doing this on a regular basis, and just seeing what we can tap into, what comes out for us, for humanity. And at the time we're at now, or maybe in the future, or whatever the case, but we'll kind of give more explanations as in different videos, so stay tuned for that. I just want to mention that a little bit in the beginning of this.
Yeah, thanks for
Really
giving it a
exciting.
plug. You guys are going to enjoy it. I think it's very lively and very fascinating what's coming through, and obviously unscripted, so we have no idea what's coming. We thought we were going to talk about what topic, and it was a completely different topic. It's whatever they want to bring through, because we're talking to infinite intelligence. We're not going to override that. So
no, I had expectations before, if you remember. I was like,
yeah,
okay, let me get some questions together, and this is how, I don't know, I got to plan how this is all going to go together and fall into place. And then boom, we went ahead and did it, and it was just like everything that I thought and had expectations of was out the window. And it just didn't even, it was completely, it exceeded my expectations, first of all. And yeah, I didn't even have any plan that I had was out the window. So yeah, it's going to be kind of at the seat of our pants every time.
Yeah. So thanks for coming along for the ride, the wild ride.
The roller coaster ride. But yeah, so just wanted to mention that a little bit. And if you haven't already, subscribe, share, comment, like, we love it all, and we're appreciative of you sharing your energy with us as well. So but I wanted to also just say this about the thoughts. And I've been so much more conscious, and I know you mentioned it before we got on the recording, before we started recording this, how you do it every day. And I have been kind of on and off implementing, like, speaking to my body over the last few years. But now much more than I've ever been doing it, and like having dialogue and constant conversation with it, because it is a a conscious being just like we are,
Yeah.
you
And it
know?
wants to be loved. It
Yeah.
wants to be appreciated.
Listen to and talk to. And a lot of people may think it's funny or like stupid or silly or whatever, but as me and Alexandra were talking before we hit the record, um the things like when you actually, I learned this a while back, and I think it might have been Louise Hayes that was saying it. And how just you speaking to someone else, maybe in a toxic way, let's just say a toxic way, or that your body, and I was getting this morning when I was channeling, how it's not actually hearing the words, but it's hearing the vibration of the words and the frequency of the words. So like if you maybe say some derogatory thing towards the television, and you're like cursing at the TV, how your mind and body doesn't know that you're cursing the TV out, that you're actually speaking that over yourself. It cannot tell
Yeah,
you.
because you're flooding that emotion through your own body
Yeah.
before it comes out. And that's why you feel so shitty when you do it.
Yeah. That's
If
another thing
you're
that
paying
came
attention, it's
through.
like, oh,
Yeah.
now my energy feels like it just dropped this much. Well, that's a big part of that.
Yeah, yeah, and it not knowing the difference between you thinking that you're speaking to someone else outside of you, when in actual, it's even if you are on the road and somebody cuts you off and you're yelling out yelling through the window, giving the middle finger and cursing and whatever, you're actually speaking
Yeah,
that to yourself, because it doesn't know that you're talking to somebody outside of you.
yeah, very true.
And a lot of people think that, oh yeah, I just got one over on this person, I just cursed them out on the road, and in actuality, and then you start to feel crappy, like you said, within yourself, um and
Yeah.
I'm starting to be so much more aware of that, like just in being around certain people that are speaking certain things, and
It's
how
amazing, isn't
I
it?
feel
You
in my
start to
body,
really, your radar goes up and you'll hear like when people are saying that I'm sick of this or oh, this is my bad part of my body or this is
Yes.
I'm always going to be I've always been fat, I'll always be fat, no matter what I
Yeah.
do, I'm always overweight. And it's like, okay, instructions heard,
Yeah.
so it's really, really important and it's so great that it's coming to the foreground now.
Yeah, and I mean, I can tell so much more, like if I'm around someone, and then how uncomfortable I feel in my body and how icky it feels, and just
Yeah.
it's like your body's like telling you, it's like it's giving you a warning sign that it's listening. It hears what you're surrounding yourself with, or the words that, and then you even, I mean, I'm sure you've been in a situation where the people that are listening have, where you're like, oh man, I can't be around this person. I don't even want to use the word can't. Let's say I'm starting to realize that me being around, like I have to shorten my time period around this person or these people.
Yeah.
You start to realize how, okay, this people I could stay around for longer, but this person I don't seem like it's a good thing for me. It just doesn't feel good, you
Yeah.
know?
And that's really true. And but it extends. So like last night it was an example. We were watching something on Netflix and my partner and I, and he likes the action and adventure. And I was like, okay, I'll try. But he knows it's like I give it like it has a very small window and then I tune into my body. And it was
Mhm.
about, it was all the guns and people running and screaming. And I was like about 10 minutes in, and I just felt my chest felt tight. I felt heavy. I felt my vibration had dropped, and I just went, sorry. If you want to watch it, I'll go do something else. But if you want to spend time together, we need to watch something else together because this is not working for me. And he knows I have a very low threshold because I'm just not willing to drop my vibration and be now attracting not so nice things in the name of, for the sake of entertainment.
Yeah.
And I don't care how many people are loving it on Netflix, but I have to listen to my own counsel, on that
Yeah.
my own
Yeah. Yeah.
body,
Yeah.
tune into myself.
Yeah. That's really good. That's yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, wow. Yeah, I mean, interesting, because a lot of people are not aware of that and they're not conscious of that, and then they just like, oh yeah, I love that, but then they ignore the way they feel.
Yeah. It's like people watching the news
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
remembering you're not really getting, just to lightly touch on that, everything is so censored and it's bought and paid for by the government, at least in Canada. So judging by how you feel, like how do you feel when you're watching the news?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And go
totally.
by that, like, because you can, sometimes get it in, if you feel like you need to keep up on information, get it in a format that's not going to grip you quite as much. Maybe without the video, the videos, just read the words and then you can get the information without being immersed in that vibration. But speaking of vibration, I have a way. We talked last episode, we were talking about the water blessing
Oh
and
yeah.
putting the power words. So that's a really, strong, powerful way to send that message to your body. And even just like I have, because it was a water blessing ceremony, I came away with a little jar of blessed water, and I just put a few drops into my water every day, and I just intend that I be strengthened, and that anything that I need to release is released, and that this water, this like holy water, is going through and purifying my whole body. But I mean, you can make your own holy water just by calling, like call on God, your angels, whatever, and just intend that this be the best, purest water. And then send your intentions into a little container and then add some of that every day. But it's taking the time to kind of go, okay, so with this, and that's how you empower it. You're giving it direction, but it's holding that intention just like a crystal does. So just like you might hold a crystal and intend that it be, strengthening you, or, you know, whatever your intention for the crystal, helping you manifest something, you can do the same with water, because it is a living thing, just like we are, just like everything is energy.
Yeah.
So it's just little things like that you can just add into your routine, like they might take like a minute out of your day, so
Yeah.
it's not like it's a
Or
you
like
know
you
a
said, like
task.
putting the word love and taping it to, or writing it or taping it onto your bottle, your water bottle, or
Yeah,
different affirmations on the water, how much that helps. And I mean, I notice in just doing these sessions, and speaking an intention while holding the water, how different the water tastes,
yeah, it
and
does.
I can definitely taste and notice a difference, in the water. And yeah, there is skeptics out there that will not believe it, but I can definitely tell a difference. And
Yeah,
um, so it is very important, and every single thing is a living, conscious being. Everything. I mean, everybody has heard you could talk to plants, right? Trees. I mean, they're conscious beings, are always listening. They're just standing out there listening all the time. And
yeah.
it's just like our bodies, it's our bodies are everything. I mean, our phones are listening. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, our technology certainly is listening, but
yeah,
so is all the nature all around you. So
yeah,
that's a really good point.
yeah,
And
everything, and I mean, I just got this well, I didn't get this new crystal, but I've had it for a while, but I'm finally now wearing it.
what is it? I can't tell from.
Moldavite.
Oh, I have a moldavite.
Yeah, if you can, I don't know if you could see it or
I
not.
should get mine. Mine's in a ring. It looks like a shriveled up raisin, so I
Yeah,
don't
this,
wear
well,
it.
that's kind of like similar to what this looks like, but I've had it for so long, and I finally felt like I was ready to put it on and actually wear it. And
Yeah, it's really powerful,
yeah,
transformative.
yeah, yeah, they
Yeah,
are, they are. And it's very I was reading in this book all about them, and how scarce they are.
yeah.
Uh,
It's a tektite. It came from a meteor,
yeah, and
so it's so it is limited, and yeah, it's a
it's so
powerful.
powerful. It has a lot of power in connecting to extraterrestrial life and all kinds. There's a lot of things that, but you also want to make sure that you're grounded as well, like with hematite or something like that too, with it, because
Yeah,
it can. But
putting
yeah,
and wearing.
it's another piece to my. I love it. I've been meaning to, but I for whatever reason I just wasn't ready to wear it yet. So my body knew it that over the weekend I put it on.
That's cool.
Yeah,
So things have shifted for you.
yeah,
You're ready
yeah,
to bring in the big guns, because that
yeah.
light is definitely a big gun
It
stone.
is. It totally is. Yeah, yeah. I must have bought it like sometime last year. from this woman in like Peru. And I think where it came from. There's only a select few. I was reading in this book where you can get it from, even where it's even found. They
Yeah.
said like Germany and somewhere else. Um, and it's really interesting, you know. It's interesting what it does and what it offers. It's a beautiful piece. I have to say. But yeah, that's amazing what you're saying and the explanations you're giving, because I think that all of us need those reminders, you know?
And we could do a whole show on crystals. I'm a crystal therapist. I don't know if you knew that, but I have been a crystal therapist for many years, and so I've learned a lot. But there's so much to learn. But so I work with them every day. You know, I work with my chakras. So
Yeah.
I've got like today I'm on red, so I've got like lots of garnet and you know other stones to connect with the root chakra because it's red. So they all resonate because they hold a certain frequency, and when you bring it connected with your body and with intention, like again, I would say work for me in the best and highest good, for my best and highest good today, then my root chakra is going to begin to resonate with those stones in the frequency. So it stabilizes your chakra. So I teach people how to do that. I've written a children's book teaching children how to do that, but I work with it every day myself. So I'll like whatever chakra I'm on that day, and I just float through them all and then start again the next day. Every Monday's root chakra day, you know. So I have my red mug and I have my red underwear on and I red sockies. And so everything, so I really embrace the color, the aromatherapy that goes with it. I have all my, the crystals, I have affirmations around it, like the whole deal, just to work with that chakra, so
Yeah.
to keep it vibrant and work functioning, because again, it's energy, but it's how we assimilate energy from the universe, and it governs like, well, with the root chakra, I may as well finish since I'm talking about it. It's your legs and your feet. And so it's all about grounding and being grounded, which you mentioned. So it's really, so if you kind of work with all of them, you'll be healthy, you'll be happy, you'll be abundant in all areas of your life. But it's
And
a
you
fun
said
way with crystals, it's a fun way to do it.
and you said affirmations too, because it's like that also is creating your reality through your thoughts and what you're speaking and the word, and um yeah, it is so important. It's like I feel like as we continue to go through 2024, the importance of what you're giving your attention to, you know?
Can I just share, just briefly?
Yeah.
Let me just share this, if you don't mind,
Yeah,
because
yeah, go ahead.
um, just
By all
the
means.
children's book that I just released, and it's called Wishes Have Wings. It's so pretty. So it's
Beautiful.
they have this little catchphrase: thoughts are things and wishes have wings. The happier your thought, the more happiness it brings.
Oh, I
So
love that.
just because we're talking, so it kind of goes through and talks about how, the different you're like a rainbow. It's true. You have all its colors inside of you. The rainbow angels, who I channeled, have come to say, color your world the angel way, because thoughts are things and wishes have wings. The happier your thought, the more happiness it brings. So I'll just do the root chakra if you don't mind. So this is a rendition, and there's an affirmation for her. I am loved and supported. She's wearing an om, and she's also doing a mudra, and she's in red. So she says, I am the root chakra angel. My color is red. I like to wear it from my feet to my head.
Hmm.
Live this day in such a way that at its end, it was as wonderful as you did intend. Then tomorrow, do it again. This is almost iridescent. I'm just seeing as I'm turning the pages, it's shimmering. My superpower is to be the healthiest me, because it's all about being healthy and grounded and stable. I love to do yoga, especially tree. I'm connected to earth energy. My crystals are garnet, hematite, and ruby. I like carrots and beets. They taste so good. My essential oils are cinnamon and sandalwood. My chakra senses smell, whether I'm sniffing toes or a rose. I'm happy to know what my nose knows. So it kind of shows that. So they go through all the different chakras, but
I
Yeah,
love it. I mean, and
now available on Amazon, which
yeah,
is
yeah,
nice.
the link, make sure we'll put the link in the description if anybody wants to get it,
Yeah, that'd be great. I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't come on, planning to promote it today, but just because we're talking about chakras, and it's a great way to for anybody to
No,
learn
I mean,
ways to connect.
I love it, and it's a perfect I don't know about segue or whatever into what we're talking about, because it's like
Yeah.
when you were speaking those words, you could feel the playfulness around the words, you could feel the lightness, the love. Like it didn't feel I didn't feel 1 ounce of like a bad feeling in my body, other than it felt just uplifting. And I mean, anybody that listens to this and
Oh,
hears
thanks.
you reading it, I mean, it's just there's no way possible you could feel, sad or down when you're those words, they're just so powerful in the rhyme that you were saying them, and just everything all
Yeah,
about it.
and they did channel it. Like it was so funny when they first came through. It was my very first channeling experience, and I didn't know what was really going on. I just came through in a meditation, and I'm starting to get these messages, and they wanted me to go sit by my pond under my willow tree and to disconnect from technology, like to just put stuff aside. And it was summer, so I'm like, okay, I'll sit with my journal there. And I didn't know what am I connecting with? I didn't know, but they became very clear, and they sent like some lots of longer messages too. But they were and I included them in I have a chakra program on my website where I take people through the chakras, and like for adults, and I included them in that when I published it. And then I thought that's what they wanted. That's all they want. They just want people to know that they're here to help us, to help personify the chakras in a way that people can identify with them, not just like this big ball of energy. So you're
Yeah.
now picturing like angels or fairies or whatever you like. And then I thought they were done, but they were like, they kept sort of on me, and they wanted a children's book. And I was like, I don't know anybody who can do that. I don't have that in my budget. I had all these reasons why it couldn't happen. And then I heard literally outside of my ear, I heard like a whisper, like, what if it was a coloring book outside my left ear? And I thought, that'd work. And it was really funny, Daren, because I had a lady I used to organize health shows, and she was coming over for tea, and I was like so excited about like this could work. I could do a coloring book. Like, okay, I don't know how because I can't draw, but I'll figure. But I was all excited. She comes over, and she's an artist, and but I hadn't really. She's never done angels, but she says, "I got to show you this. You won't believe this. I don't know why I'm drawing all these angels. I can't stop drawing angels, but they were all very like open. I wish I had the coloring book out here with me. I could show you, but they were just like line drawings of all these angels. And she'd done like a dozen. And I'm like, I know why. You're my new illustrator. Hey, partner, put her there. We're going to create this book together. And we did. And it was like 5 years ago. I met with Lorna Byrne, the angel lady. I gave her one. I met with Mike Dooley because I was a volunteering for his a training workshop. Well, no, he was on tour with Lorna Byrne. It was like just pre-COVID, and I was assisting, and so I gave him a copy. And then recently, I met a couple of years ago, I met with a lady because I was helping her with her mother. I was providing relief caregiving for her 102-year-old mother, and she's like, well, I want to create books, but I don't write. And it was like, well, I write, but I don't have, I don't draw. And it was like one of those, you got chocolate in my peanut butter moments,
Yeah.
that old
Yeah.
from Reese's. And it was just like that. We looked at each other and we went, oh my God, we're meant to work together. And so we did. So she's, her name is Patricia Van Asperen, and here's her information in the back. If anybody's looking for a fabulous person to illustrate their book, but she did all the beautiful artwork, and we're actually creating an oracle deck to go along with this too. For it can be like your child's first oracle deck. That's all going to be all about the chakra angels. So
Yeah, we'll have to
shameless promotion.
no, I mean, no, not at all. I mean, it's good. I'm glad you are. And next time you could bring all the stuff on, and we'll put like links in the in the description
That
and
would be
everything,
wonderful.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah,
awesome.
why not, I mean, might as well, man. I mean, uh this is where I feel like we're headed, you know, like you can't just, I guess we're coming into these times where we have to take accountability, you know, and um in every action and everything that we're doing, regardless, you know, and even our thoughts, you know, and what thoughts you want to give attention to and what you don't. And, you know, it goes back to, if that thought creates dis-ease or discomfort in your body, why would you want to be focusing your attention on it? Why would you want to be, your body is powerful and it's telling you, and it's, you know,
Yeah.
and these are just signs for us to listen more and to strengthen our intuition and our connection to the body, you know.
Yeah, because it's always on. We are creating with our thoughts and with our
Yeah,
emotions, and it's always on.
yeah,
But it's also the beliefs. Like beliefs are
yeah,
just thoughts
yeah.
we keep thinking that we can change those beliefs.
Hmm.
And you might not know what your beliefs are, but you might feel like, well, I want to do this thing, but oh, nothing ever works out for me, or what, like I can't do that. I can't be a public speaker,
Yeah.
well, why not exactly? And I know for myself with my first book was many like 20 over 20 years ago. And I had been a journalist, so I was used to being behind the camera the other way. And then people were like, well, now that you have published a book, now you need to get out and do book tours and all this other stuff. And I'm like, my God, I gotta like public speaking. Like, are you kidding me? I actually did a hypnosis session, and which cleared that right up, and led to me doing a TV talk show in with Kojiko. Because I mean, it was a free thing, right? They're just like community television, but they were looking for new things. And I just walked in off the street and said, never done this before. How about we do this? And they're like, sounds great. And I did it for 3 years, just bringing like therapists, like holistic therapists. This, don't forget, this was like 25 years, not 25, but 22, 23 years ago. It wasn't as prevalent as it was now. So it was really like, wow, people like, this is something that, people were watching. Like, isn't that interesting? I hadn't heard that before. But I mean, I now was able to do public speaking because I had the hypnosis that kind of cleared the way for that. Then went on to Toastmasters and stuff, and did a lot of public speaking engagements. And now it's like, give me a stage, give me a mic, like I'm good to go.
Yeah,
I love
yeah, yeah,
it. Might be
yeah.
able to tell that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know what you mean, because I do feel like it's also you're right, your beliefs. And you know, do you really believe that you could do that? Do you believe that you could be on a podcast or speaking in front of an auditorium, you know, of people, you know? And it really comes down to that. I'm facing that with some things in my own life, you know, and things that are being shown to me, and it's just reminding me that, oh, wait a minute, that is safe and that is okay. And it goes back to like some situations I had with encounters with people in public, and you know, and I'm starting to realize more and more that how am I speaking to myself, you know? And like saying, oh, no, you know what, body, it's okay, it is safe to talk to those people, you know, because I grew up, and a lot of us grew up in our generation, that things aren't safe, you know, and oh, you need to lock your car doors and you need to lock your house
Yeah.
and protect yourself from everything, you know. And it's like, and then we're going out, and then we don't realize that by doing that, you're you're essentially protecting yourself from everyone, and then you're missing out on all this beautiful the beautiful things in life. And I'm starting to realize that with my own life, how I was conditioned in so many ways by my parents and their beliefs, and of being unsafe,
Yeah.
you know, from coming from the deep depression and all other things that they went through and their parents went through. And you know, and they're like, did you lock your car door, did you lock your windows, you know, like. And it clicked to me not too long ago, where I'm like, oh, but wait a minute. Us being outside, nature is inside of us. And when we say it's kind of inverted, I learned this not too long ago. I got this download, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Oh my God. We like say we want to go inside, and we go inside our
Yeah.
house, but that's really outside of us. And being outside in nature is really inside of us, and we actually say it invertedly, like, oh, I'm going to go inside, like you're going inside your house, but in actuality, that's outside of you. And so, when you see, like, I would see my parents like locking the doors and the windows and, oh, it's unsafe and blah blah blah, and it's like they just feel unsafe inside of themselves, you
And
know.
they're matching up with the perpetrators. They're matching up with the
Yeah,
burglars.
exactly, yeah.
You just
The
brought yourself to
frequency.
a matching vibration.
Yes, 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 exactly. And
Not to
so,
say you shouldn't lock your doors, but
no,
but
no,
to walk around with that mindset that that
that's,
you have
yeah,
to protect everything, it
yes.
kind of is not having the best
And
effect.
then you're
Yeah.
missing out on so many things, man. You don't realize the people that you're missing out, because then they're just going to mirror what you're already putting out. So they're going to just show you the same thing, that they're going to be not wanting to talk to you, and they're going to be protecting themselves in their heart from
Yeah.
you. So you're not going to have these meaningful conversations and interactions, because I've noticed it with when I go to the park and different things like that. If I'm in a certain mindset, or, you know, like you just said, I'll get the same thing mirrored back at me. Someone that doesn't even look at you and doesn't even acknowledge that you're even there.
Yeah.
Even if you wave and you make it like a scene, they just walk right past. You could see how these things.
Vibes don't lie.
Yeah, a hundred
Vibes don't
percent.
lie.
No.
You can smile and
Yeah.
you can be like, oh, fucking or that person I dislike is over there. I'm gonna smile away.
Yeah.
But your vibe is going,
Oh yeah.
stay away,
Yeah.
and they will.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And it's so interesting, like when you see it from a grander, higher perspective, that it's not like I'm the victim, or you did this to me, or you did that to me, or you know what I mean? It's like you see it so differently, and then you watch
Yeah,
everybody else seeing it that way. It's unreal. It's really magnificent, and so yeah,
really is. Yeah,
I love this
it's all coming
conversation. I think
for
we can
us.
go so far with this. Um,
Yeah.
it's such a we'll definitely probably have to talk about this again, I'm sure.
Well, I
Because
have a really fun just to see, like I used to teach law of attraction, and it, sort of 101 and just a 101, not one on one, but I did that too. But I had an example that was so funny that happened, like it was over 13 years ago. My grandson was just a baby at the time, and my daughter collected little nutcrackers, and she liked to collect nutcrackers, and she was looking for little duckies for, the little rubber duckies for her newborn. So he was just a little guy, and so I was looking for stocking stuffers, and I was shopping, and I somehow got led into, like, I was looking everywhere, and it was just like, yeah, I could find them, but I didn't find that special something. And I was directed to a store that was kind of one of those pop-up over surplus stores, where they got all kinds of stuff. And I usually avoid them because it's just like too much. So, but I was guided there, and I walked in, and there was different kinds of nutcrackers. There was some that you would like there was some like on a rocking horse, and I snapped that up. But then, so I've been on a search for like rubber ducky and these nutcrackers, and you won't believe what I found. I was guided to go back to where the toys were, and there on sort of one of the end aisles was this stuffy of a rubber ducky. It was dressed like the Nutcracker, and it was called the Nut Quacker, and it sang a little tune, was the Nutcracker, which is big in my house. It means Christmas to me. And it would just go side to side, like, with this little thing
oh
doing
wow.
doing the Nutcracker. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So it's like if you're thinking red and you're thinking blue, you might just attract purple. Because I never heard or saw that before. I've never seen one since, but I got one for my grandson, and it scared the daylights out of him. But his older cousin loved it. So he took it home, and it kind of got passed around to all the grandkids. But yeah, but it was just so funny. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, how did this even happen? But it did, because that's what I was so focused on, and that's what I created. So just a fun little example, but
I
yeah.
love
So
that.
focus on what you want, not what you don't want. Like, and tell yourself, like,
Yes.
remember that your words are magic. Like, your words are magic. They really are. So you have to give them some thought, or if you catch yourself, take the time to cut, cancel, clear, reverse the thought. It's probably reflecting what you don't want. So what do you want? Maybe just say the opposite of that. Like, I'll
Mhm.
never get a job. I have so many job offerings, I can just pick whatever one I want, like, so, and don't worry about it being true, because it's going to be true for you if you believe it and you make it true for you. It's like affirmations, people like, I can't say, all these affirmations about how healthy I am when I'm sick and bad, you know. Well, yeah, you can, because you're saying it because you want the results that saying those affirmations is going to give you.
Mhm.
And then when that affirmation becomes true for you, then you can pick another one, just keep that one going. I'm always healthy, happy, and wise, or whatever
Then
your
you're
affirmation.
retraining yourself, you're
You're
retraining your
training your
brain,
brain.
and it's hard. I'm not gonna, I mean, again, that's another word that you could change and say it's easy, but it takes again, you could change that too and say it's
Yeah,
easy.
see?
There's a lot of way, there's a lot of ways like you
Why
can,
not just say it's easy? Everything's
yeah,
easy for me
yeah,
because I live in easy
exactly.
world, like it's
Exactly. It's
easy.
effortless. It requires, so look how easy it was that I could make it.
You caught yourself. You
Yeah,
caught yourself.
and
And
I
that's
caught,
when you
yeah.
go like, good on me. I caught myself. It's not a time to criticize, like, oh, did it again. It's like, yay, I'm getting so good at doing
Yeah.
this and catching it and rephrasing it. And
Mhm.
and every time you do that, because all these, the molecules are rearranging themselves to give you what you saying you want. So to cut, cancel, clear, and then you say what it is you really want. Now they're rearranging again. They're coming. But also, if you think of it like the gestation time that everything has, like any gardeners out there, or anyone who's ever given birth, any woman who's ever had a baby, there's a gestation time. But so if you're intently creating something with your thoughts, with your picture visualizations, with your affirmations, but don't go back and then, cut it clear before it's had a chance to grow. Like that little seed is growing, right? It's
Oh,
growing.
yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
just about to perk through. Like, I think everybody's seen this visual, who's on a spiritual path has seen this visual. And then you go like, oh, but that'll never work or whatever. And then just kind of goes, you
Yep,
know?
you're
So it's suspend that disbelief and just put yourself into it, because it's how we're creating our world.
yep,
It's true. So just suspend the disbelief. Would you rather feel empowered, or would you rather think that, oh, I actually am creating my reality, so why don't I create it the way I really want it? People have money showing up out of the blue. People have, health diagnosis to reverse, out of the blue. Like it's
yeah,
wonderful how
it does.
powerful we
Me and you with this new idea that was birthed, that we're gonna do with that we're gonna be doing,
yeah,
and
it's so cool.
this project, and there's other things that have appeared recently in my own thing where I'll speak about in a future episode. That is coming to fruition, and different things and offers that are coming on the table. So it's like, if you think life is hard, it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
And yes, it takes time, but that again can be a limiting belief, when you could say, no, it's easy for me, it's effortless. So all these things are things that you're rewiring and recreating the pathways in your brain from the way that you've been believing for so many years. And when you started saying that, I started to remember years ago, probably back in 2017, even when I really was starting this and catching myself from using words like but and different words like that. And I would right away catch myself and flip the word,
Good.
in a
Yeah.
conversation, even back then. So it's been um, a good amount of time that I've been working on it, but it's part of, again, we have to just keep um, thinking and saying the things that we want to experience, because we're creating our future self, and and what we want to experience and see. And so if you want to experience everything to be difficult, well, then it's going to be difficult, you know
Yeah.
and that's the honest truth. It's the lens that you look through, and your perception, your perspective. So yeah.
That's so true. And to use our powerful imagination, which is that sixth dimension, and visualize it, but visualize it now, not like in 5 years, I'm going to be doing this, you know, like, no, don't create that gap. Just in your mind's eye, it's now. Like, where are you in 5 years? You're that now, like your home or whatever, your whatever it is that you're trying to create. Don't put a gap in there because there's only the eternal now, so be there now and be as vividly as you can, because this is your blueprint. You're creating your reality, like
I got a great idea that just came through if you want to, if
oh,
you're up for it.
sure,
To wrap this
doesn't matter what
epi-
it is, I'm up
to
for it.
wrap this episode up, you want to do that practice instead of channeling this week. You want to do that practice because you kind of were going
Yeah,
into it already, where you were kind of saying it already just now in the words you were saying, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, like I think they want us to do this,
yeah,
um
that's a fun idea, Darren. We'll just give everybody like a real live, real-time example of how that
yeah,
would work.
yeah.
So how you could do this with a buddy, with a like a channel buddy, or just a friend or a partner, spouse, whatever. And there's a way to do this. It can be called scripting. It can be called it's been called pray rain journaling. Um, there's many different, and that one I'd like to just explain the name a little bit because that one's cool in itself. It's like a written form that you would do by yourself. If you don't, maybe you don't have anybody, you can always still do it out loud. They call it pray rain because a person was they went to uh I don't know where it was, someplace that was having a drought, and they were calling in like people who are doing special dances to bring the rain, and anyway, this fella came and he just sat there and visualized it raining, and it did. It rained there, right where he was, and still miles around were dry, but right in that little town, he created rain by sitting in the rain. And
Hmm.
so they call it pray rain, like, but you can do it with the journaling, just write like a short paragraph every day where you're immersed in that. Or what we're about to demonstrate, where we're just going to verbally, what topics should we do this on? Like, how about world peace? How about happy planet? We could talk
Okay.
about like, okay, so I could say like, hey Darren, did you see that latest thing? There's so much good happening in the world right now, and I just saw that they have something that is going to recreate the coral reef, and at the same time, it's cleaning up any of the garbage that's still left behind. So it's like a two-in-one. It's like two solutions in one. It's so cool. Just one of these, some young kid did it, came up with it in school, and isn't that fantastic? And then Darren might say, yes, and then he would build on that or take it into different
I
directions, like a
have
little fun
something
game.
that came right into my awareness. And how about, did you see everybody, every single human on this earth right now has their own land, has a house, a roof over their head, is financially supported, has vibrant fruits and vegetables, nutrition to nourish their bodies. Everybody is being supported and taken care of. Every single human has a place to live.
And everyone is sitting around meditating. The people are coming together and they're meditating, they're holding hands, and they're sending so much love. And love is all you feel. It's just incredible how this happened. Like, I don't know how. It's just happening. It's just happening. And it's like,
Have you seen all the
back to
people?
you.
Okay. Have you seen everyone is like free to be themselves, to be authentically themselves, to show up in their power, in the knowing of who they truly are. And we're all walking around ascended masters in our power,
Yeah.
um,
and
sovereign, free,
and everyone is
peaceful.
respected, and all the animals, and everyone sees now that how the gifts that the animal kingdom is bringing, and that they're respected and they're treasured, and they're also happy, and we're honoring the land, so now they have their territories back. They can live their lives the way that they want to, and there's just this mutual respect
Oh,
and love.
but wait, did you see that humanity now is actually friends with the animal kingdom, and we
Well,
actually,
because everyone is using light language and telepathy, so we're
yeah,
connecting with them, and they're here. We know that there are helpers,
and they walk
and
up
it's
to us, and we are able to pet them and spend time with them and be friendly with them, and they come up and just love all up on us. I mean, did you
and it's
see
so
that
funny.
deer?
It's so funny because they're like, we've been your spiritual guides all along, and you've been looking for your spiritual helpers, and we're right here. That's what we're here for. And now they're just, it's just so wonderful that they've just, it seems that as soon as someone identifies a problem, there's a solution. It's like there isn't any dark web anymore because there's so much light in the world. So it's a light web, and it's where free education for everybody, free everything, and people are letting their bodies be healthy and whole. So there's all these different methods of healing that are available, and it's all without hurting ourselves. We're just healing, and it just gets better and better and better.
And everybody's being taught how to meditate properly, how to go within, how to use their breath and breathe deeply, and how amazing it is to use our breath and to honor our bodies. And everyone, I walk around and I see so many people connected, deeply connected to their higher self, tapping in with listening and understanding the guidance that they're being given and shown and taught. It's just a beautiful world we're living in. I am,
It is heaven on earth.
it
It's
is heaven on
heaven
earth.
on earth.
It is heaven on earth.
It's that's been predicted for so long. It's like we created the new earth, the heaven on earth. It's here. We're living it. We're walking around knowing that we are all gods. We're each
Yep.
gods, coming together with the great collective God. It is just paradise. It's heaven
Paradise.
on earth. It's paradise everywhere you turn. And tapping into our real true roots. We're like, we know our history, our ancient history is all that's been withheld or kept hidden is now in the open, and there's so much more learning coming from that every day. There's more and more. This gets better and better. How's it get
Oh my
better than
God.
this?
Oh, I love it. I love it. This was so much fun. I mean, I like this twist that they gave us to do.
Yeah,
I thought that was so
like
fun.
my vibe, I feel like I
I
was
know.
channeling because my vibe is like way up
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. The
on.
same thing. It's way up there, man. Like
I
that is, yeah, I think we're gonna incorporate this somehow into,
think that would be a great idea. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, each week
yeah,
we can build upon it, and then maybe get everyone to start doing it in the comments as well, like they can start, we
that's
can start
awesome.
playing this out in the comments. And yeah, I love it. Thank you so much. This was truly a blessing, and I'm grateful to have done this, and
Yeah,
to
it was a
everyone
great
that's listened.
idea.
This was a great episode. Another one.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I hope
Yeah, and
everybody
thank
else
you,
did.
and thank you to everybody. And we're going to share her book information in the description, and in the and we're getting everything more and more refined, so just bear with us as we
Well, it's very fluid, and we knew it would be.
yeah,
Because what happens when you put ice and water, or sorry,
yeah,
ice and fire, you get water. So,
yeah,
so
yeah,
we
yeah,
have to be fluid.
yeah. It really is. I mean, I've gotten good feedback, like you have in the comments, I have. And
Did you want to share anything out, like without giving names, but just any that you like that I don't have
maybe
access
just
to my
maybe
phone.
maybe just
Not to put you on
one.
the spot.
No, no,
Yeah,
no. Maybe just one, because we don't have too much time left.
yeah.
Uh,
Okay. What's your favorite?
One that I had mentioned to you. I think I actually sent it to you. Let me see here. It wasn't a comment that was placed in the comments on the YouTube channel, but it was actually I was sent this comment. And um, so okay, so they said basically this was relating to the contracts, the session that we haven't posted yet, which we're going to be posting this week,
Oh, right.
or one of them. I don't know, because
BQH.
yeah, we may do the one previous. I don't know whichever one you want to do first. Um, but this was regarding the one we actually did that we were guided to do. they basically said, wow, interesting about the contract. Some of the stuff I did not even know. I highly suggest the two of you continue to explore more topics. You two make a good team. This session flowed with no hiccups. All
Nice.
good.
And this is
Yeah.
someone who's been exposed to a lot of this
Yeah.
beyond quantum
Yeah.
hypnosis. So
Yeah, and I
that's
don't even think
nice.
it's relating only to that. It's just our dynamic, and she also said also your intro was nice. I love how you showed some vulnerability and plowed right through it.
Well, we're
So
trying to be authentic.
yes, that was a really nice a really
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
beautiful words, beautiful
Yeah.
share. So
Appreciate
yeah,
that. She knows who she is. So thank you so
yeah,
much.
yeah, and so yeah, I think that this is an amazing journey. I'm enjoying it, and I'm learning a lot. You're learning a lot about yourself. We both are, and I love it. I'm really having a good time.
Yeah, me too. I'm really looking forward to it every week. And
Yeah.
I think we should start with the first one we actually did. I did cut out my personal stuff.
Okay.
But they
Okay.
talked about our just to give people a little bit of a teaser, they did talk about our how we define success and how that can be holding people back and then how to move forward with that. And then they kind of gave an overview of just basically what for each of us, but it extended out to everybody else too, just so like what we're actually doing in the world. So I think it'd be a really good intro to the BQH. And then as I say, the second one we talked about soul contracts and all kinds of other things come up. And we really, when we're talking with who I'm connecting with when I'm under hypnosis, we're letting them pretty much take the lead, like a little bit of direction from Daren, but we're not showing up with a whole list of questions because they got lots to say. So yeah, so we'll be debuting that on Wednesday, right,
Yes,
Daren?
yes, yes, yes. And again, this episode will be after, so they probably will this will be kind of irrelevant because this is going to be
That's okay.
probably
Something to look
this is
forward
probably
to.
not going to be this Saturday, but the following Saturday because we already have an episode
Right,
coming out this coming
right.
Saturday.
That's
So
right. Yeah.
so yeah, if you all haven't already, please subscribe, share, comment, like, share these things out to everyone you can, and we're just gonna keep plugging along. And thank you again, Alexandra. This was amazing, and
Thank you,
um,
Daren. Yeah, it's been really a lot of fun.
yeah,
A lot of fun.
and with that, we are out. Take care, everybody.
Have a great day. Big love all around the world.